This video is for education purpose, not for marketing. Education purpose only. Thank you, admin. I appreciate you. Even though you don't know me, I don't know you, but you allowed this video to come through your page. Thank you very much. So in this particular video, I'll be talking about how to raise pigs for profit. How to raise pigs for profit. You know, this pig you're raising, you're not raising it for yourself, right? You're raising it to be sold to buyers, potential buyers, or reseller, or another farmer, that want to continue to raise them. So, when going into business, you don't just take your hard-earned money and just boom it out like that and it goes free, and before you know it, you start experiencing some downfall here and there. So before you go into business, there are some proper things you must put in place. Those are the things about piggery. Those are the things I'll be showing you in this video. So this video will consist of introduction, planning and preparation, breeding and farrowing, nutrition and health, growth and finishing, marketing and sales, then financial management. Starting from the introduction, raising pigs for profit can be lucrative, can be a lucrative venture. It is a very lucrative venture, but it requires a careful planning, a careful execution, and a careful management. Yes, like I said earlier, this is money we're talking about. You're using your money to get more money. So there is need for you to do a careful planning. There is need for you to be very careful while executing those projects. There is need for you to be very careful when you're managing that business. So these and more are what we're going to be discussing in this video. Comprehensive overview, especially for beginner, especially for students, especially for young man like me that is thinking about going into a good business and considering piggery. Yes. So, number one, planning and preparation. Before we go into planning and preparation, the number one thing you should do first is to decide. You get. You sit, you think, you reason, and then you decide. Conclude in your mind, I'm going into piggery business. So after deciding that you want to really go into it, after deciding that you want to invest your money into it, the next thing you should do is plan and prepare. You get, you have to plan it. You have to prepare. For some people, they are going for a loan. They're using their loan. For some people, they are using their saved money. For some people, they are using their hard-earned money to start this business. So there is a need for you to plan. Number one thing you should do under planning is to research your local market and demand. Research your local market demand and competition. Research your local market demand and competition. What does that mean? This thing you want to raise, this pig you want to raise, is it the breed that is acceptable in the market? Is it on demand? Does he align? Is it the type of breed that you can breed in that your location? Considering the climate, considering the weather, there's difference between the weather in the north and the weather in the west. In the west, especially in my region, Nigeria, this country, we have so much rain. We have rain in a volume that is more than the north. So there are some animals they can raise. There's some breeds of animals that can be easily raised in the north. But when you bring it to the west, you have to be very, very careful in taking care of them so that you will not experience casualties. So, number one thing, determine if the breed you're going into, determine the kind of breed that is suitable for your climate. Simple. Number one. determine the breed that is suitable for your climate, for your environment, so that there's some that are rugged. They can go through stress. There's some they're weak. They cannot go through stress. So determine the breed first. Determine the kind of breed that are in high demand in the market. Then determine how serious or how high the competition of that piggery business is in your area. In my own area, the western part of Nigeria, the production, the number of farmers we have in this piggery business is very low. I don't know the reason, but it is very low, to the extent that we have not been able to meet the demand. What does that mean? As you're seeing this kid, these piglets, they have been booked already. They have been booked. Buyers, they are buyers of them. They have been paid for. You get? They have been paid for. That is the extent of, deficiency of supply that we have in this area. So we don't have competition. In fact, we need more farmers. In fact, one of the challenge I faced before doing this video is, some people that does not know about it would say that, why would you want to show this video to people? Why would you want to teach people how to do it? Why would you do this? Will you not be more competitive? Blah, 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 blah. I say, calm down. In fact, the number of farmers we have now is not able to supply enough to the market. In fact, we need more farmers. So, talking about planning and preparation, the number one thing you should do is to research the local market demand and competition. Number two is to develop a business plan, including budget and revenue projections. You get? When you want to start this business. So, you see, starting up is different from continuing in the business. Because when you start, you have bought the big piglets, you have bought this, you have bought that, you have bought the starter feeds, and then your pigs feed to some extent. They consume all the foods, and then you don't have a budget for more feeds because you're starting up. You don't have money for no. That shouldn't be. You should plan for continuation to marketing. You get? You don't budget for a startup. Because as a starter, you might not be able to sell until all your pigs are grown up. Do you understand? So you need to put all those in preparation. So my device is off the page. Okay, back to where we are right now. So you have done your research, local market. You have done research about the local market, demand and competition. You have developed a business plan, including the budget and revenue projections. Then 3, you should consider a suitable breed, which we have discussed earlier. A suitable breed for your climate, the climate condition of your area. Okay. So, the number 4 point is to ensure necessary permits and licenses are obtained. Ensure that you have obtained necessary license and permit before you go into agribusiness. Now, let's talk about this a bit. Piggery business. In this location where I am, you don't really need government permits to do that. But for some people that are watching this video, you have been planning to use your backyard for this piggery. You are okay with doing that. But what about your neighbors? Are they fine with it? No. What my advice would be to you is that get a farmland that is a little bit separated from a residential land. You get? Do your farming there. You are not going to have any problem. You are not going to need any permit from any co-residents. You get. So when you have a farmland and you like in this location, we do not have any problem because our neighbors are farmers as well. Neighbors here, they are farmers as well. Some are into poultry, some are into ram, some are into sheep production, some are into crop production. So we do not have problem. In fact, what we have here is friends. So they come from manures, do this, one or two of that. Sometimes we also take our rams to their farm for feeding. So ensure you take permit and licenses. In some country, you need to get license from government before you venture into pig business. So do your findings in your area. Do you need it? What are those things permit and licenses you need to venture into the business? Do that and get it so that you will know, to avoid arrest. Then prepare land and facility. Talking about fencing, talking about shelter, talking about watering systems. Let me explain. In pig business, your pigs, they're going to need a lot of water. So you see that you have a good source of water, a borehole, a reliable borehole, or if you have a reliable river or stream that are reliable, that you can rely. It won't be that you get there someday and it is dried up. If it is well, get it. Just make sure you have good source of water. That is that about watering. Shelter. You see that when it rains, it doesn't rain directly on your pigs. Those are and more are what causes disease in your pig farm. Then fencing is for security. You get, it's for security so that your fence will be free from theft. You get it now. So those fencing, shelter, watering system, they're one of those things you should factor into your budgeting. So that is that about planning and preparation. Going into breeding and farrowing. You have to select healthy breeding stock. Healthy. Now you're going into market to buy a pig for raising. You should go for the ones that are healthy. See how do you know you see when you see their agility, the way they move around, the way they eat around, the way when you try to tap them, the way they move, are one of the ways you can know that they are good health wise, that their health is good. Another way you can know is to go with a veterinary doctor that can help you do tests on them, that these ones are fine, they can deliver babies for you. So then you buy good healthy breed. So now the next thing you need to do under the breeding and farrowing is to understand the reproductive cycle and breeding techniques. You get, understand the reproductive cycles, so that when this one has given birth, the number of space of time to give her before putting her in between a male again. You get to understand the cycle, the technique. So number 3 things under breeding and farrowing is to manage gestation and farrowing. Managing gestation. Remember in our terms, in that video, the terms, gestation is a period of pregnancy. You get, when they are heavy. So now under breeding and farrowing, one of the things you should plan and do is to manage gestation and farrowing. When you have noticed that your pig is in gestation period, there is need for you to put it aside in a separate pen, in a separate location. It has to be alone, not with any other male. You get it? It has to be separate for that gestation period. And there are kinds of food to feed the pig that is under gestation period, which we are going to be discussing in other videos that are to come. So then care for newborn piglets is number 4 point under breeding and farrowing. Care for newborn. How do you care for newborn? Now your soul has delivered you, say, 20 piglets. Wow, you're so happy. Yes, you're happy, but there are work to do. There are works to do. So when they deliver them, you need to take care of them. Make sure their environment are clean. They need a warm environment, as new babies that are just coming. Although pigs, when they come out of their mother, they want to play around. They want to explore everywhere. One of the piglets that came out was it yesterday or 3 days ago. He couldn't wait to get out of the belly. He couldn't wait. He was just struggling. And when he made his way out, he just started to explore everywhere. I was like, wow, this guy couldn't wait to get out of the belly. So there's need for you to take care of them. There's need for you to provide a warm environment for them. Give them the they don't need your food right at that moment. What they need is